All right, well today we're going to continue working on the HTML of yesterday's site. So first up, I have my document folder already open, and here's my new website, so I'm going to double click on it. And I want to open this up so that I can work on it in Visual Code Studio. So let me go ahead and open it up. And it opens up in my web browser. For me, it's opening up in Chrome. It's probably opening up in Firefox for you, but I can show you how to fix that in just a second. The thing is, when I'm on this page, I can't edit it, I can't work on it, I can't add tags or HTML. So the question is, how do we actually open it in Visual Studio Code? There's a few ways, but my favorite is simply to go back to your new website folder. Just press Control and click. And you want to open with Visual Studio Code. Now, if I wanted to open it with Chrome, I could just choose Chrome on my list. I could even choose Safari on my list. But I want to open it in Visual Studio Code. And here I am. Here's my code from yesterday. I want to see the location of it. So I'm just going to click on this page here. And I'm going to open the folder. And choose again where my website's located. It's in my new website. And just click Open. This is just so I can see the folder. If I need to add more pages, files, I can do that. Later you'll learn a little bit about an image folder. CSS is also here. So it's just good practice being able to see this part as well. Okay, so I'm going to actually teach you a few new HTML tags. And I do expect you to put these in your vocabulary list. The ones that we're going to do today will be in the body. And before we get to those, though, we do need to add a few more things to the head. Now, you've learned how to make a title. In my example here, I have a title. You'll see right here, this is called Anytown, USA. You also know how to create your title up here. So if you can go ahead and put that in, you know where to put it. It's in the head. Then and save it, then it'll appear. Also, there's another thing that appears in the head, and that's that meta charset tag. So we learned about this tag in the very first video in Khan. It's also in your vocabulary list in the head section. So please add the meta charset. And if you can remember, it just tells the browser that we're writing in our standard alphabet, not in Chinese characters or Arabic characters or another language. Okay, now we're going to learn a few new tags that we haven't learned before. One is called a header. And just like in Google Docs, the header goes on the top of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put a header at the very top of the page. So it's just called a header tag. And I'm going to wrap my H1, just put my H1 inside it, because that's what I want to put for my header. Since the H1 tag is now nested inside my header tag, I'm highlighting it, I'm going to go ahead and tab the H1 over, because the H1 is inside my header. Let's see if that does anything to my page. It actually doesn't look any different. It just tells the coder that this is the top of your page. It will help at a later point if you put the header in now. Since there's a header that goes always at the top of the page, then there also must be a footer at the bottom of the page. So here's my last tag I put, the OL. I'm going to go ahead and press return and write footer in. And inside footer, I'm just going to give it a copyright. Copyright 2017. So any content that I have on my page is copyrighted by me, which means people have to ask me if they want to use it. Now, in this example, it's not really our content, but let's just practice putting copyright 2017. When you make your own websites, that'll be helpful, especially if you put your own pictures on your website. And again, I'm going to save that and check to see what that looks like. And as you see, it just says down here, copyright 2017. All right, so now you've learned 2 more tags that you should have put in your vocabulary list, so do that now. A third tag, which we're going to add, is something called an article. Now, if I look back at my website, I have headings and I have pieces that go with them. So I think things to do matches hiking, biking, horseback riding, and backpacking. Amazing museums goes together with the paragraphs below it, these 3. This headline of Splash Anyone Water Park goes while it matches these paragraphs. And Best Zoo in Town matches these paragraphs, as well as How to Get Here matches this ordered list. So each section, like this section right here with the title and the text, if I had any pictures, it would be part of it too, is called an article. Just like if there's a magazine article, it would include the headings, it would include pictures, it would include text that you see on the screen. So the next new tag that we're going to add to our list is called an article tag. And I'm just going to put my different sections in an article. For example, things to do. It's an article. So I'm going to write an article tag. And I'm going to close the article tag after not only the title, but also the entire list. So right here, after the unordered list. And since all of these things are part of the article, they're nested inside it, I'll tab it over, which just tells me that the things to do, as well as the unordered list, are all part of the article. Then a new article starts. Amazing Museums is also an article with a bunch of paragraphs underneath. So I'll start a new article. And it stops right before where Splash Anyone Water Park starts. And of course, I'm going to tab this over. Next, I have a third article, Splash Anyone Water Park. So I'll go ahead and write that. And put that before Best Zoo in Town. And again, I'm going to highlight it all and press tab just so it's indented properly. So I can see that the H2 and the paragraphs below it are part of this article. And finally, well, not finally, there's actually 2 more, but Best Zoo in Town is our last paragraph. I'm going to paste the closing underneath the last paragraph and tab over these 2 sections. And finally, the last article is How to Get Here. And after the last OL, I am going to close the article and tab over. So if you've done all the articles, you have 1 article here, 2 articles, it's around Amazing and Museums, 3 articles around Splash Anyone Water Park, 4 articles around best zoo in town, and 5 articles around how to get here. This will come in helpful a bit later when we style it with CSS. All right, so those are our new vocabulary words for today. The 3 vocabulary words are header, footer, and article.
The next thing that you're going to do today is put links in this website. However, if you have not yet watched the video regarding putting hyperlinks on web pages from Khan Academy, you need to go watch that video. It'll teach you how to put links and also do the challenge Links You Love. Once you've finished that challenge, then you can come back here, and the challenge now is to put links for this part of your Anytown USA code. We're going to put links for things to do. I want one link for hiking, a link for biking, a link for horseback riding, and finally a link for backpacking. You could use a Wikipedia article about the sport, or really any other website that matches the topic. Let me just give you a little bit of a review. So to make a link that's an A tag, you need to put the reference. Make sure you put the quotation marks. And it's going to look something like that. Khan does a much better job of teaching this to you. So if you get confused or you've forgotten, please go again, watch the video, and do the exercise in Khan. It's going to look something like this. I'm just showing you an example so you see that the A tag goes inside the LI tag. One more thing I want to fix, just because hiking, biking, horseback, and backpacking, horseback doesn't seem to match. So let's go ahead and add riding so that it does match. All right, again, you have your challenge. You can spend today to put those links in your site.